Hello YouTube and welcome back to the Silver Swanner channel. This is the 10th video in my US typeset series. And today we'll be adding the tiniest coin of the entire album to the typeset. This is an 1853 US Type 1 gold dollar coin. It was produced in Philadelphia and designed by John Longacre. Now, as I was doing my research for this video, I realized just how little I knew about the history of the US dollar gold coins. So, some things to know about the time in which the idea for these dollar coins was originally brought up was that there was very little circulating currency or gold or silver coins in the country. And as such, there were actually private mints that were producing gold rounds that were being bartered with and used essentially as currency. Well, there were also communities that then had a distrust of paper money. So Congress got the idea that there needed to be gold dollar coins produced to help supplement the lack of currency in certain areas. Also at this time, there was an influx of gold to the U.S. mints. So at this time, there was the California Gold Rush, and there was also actually a significant production of gold in the southeastern part of the United States. And so that's where the Dahlonega, Georgia, and Charlotte mints actually came from, was from the output of all of the gold that was being produced in the southeastern U.S. Now, why Congress was debating the legislation that authorized the minting of the gold dollar coin, there were some concerns about just how tiny this coin would be. And there were some very interesting suggestions to this that Congress considered. The first was they simply were going to put a hole into the coin and thus expand the diameter of the coin. The other suggestion was actually to put a rim of silver around the gold and thereby make it bigger as well. But more so, what got the legislation authorizing this coin to get passed in Congress was that the act also included the authorization to mint the double eagle, or the $20 gold coin. And obviously, with this being $1 and the $20 coin being $20, which is also roughly an ounce, a little bit less than an ounce of gold actually. This likewise is just under 1/20th of an ounce of gold. So let me take you in and let's take a closer look. But before we do that, I want to remind you that I have a 250 subscriber giveaway going. So I'll leave a link to that video up here. And then finally, at the end of this video, I will put updated pictures of the album progress so far. And finally, I will share with you my running costs up to this point. So stay tuned. Okay, welcome back everyone. So for comparison's sake, just to see how tiny this coin actually is, this is a 1/10 ounce gold eagle, which probably a lot of you are familiar with. It's about the size of a dime or so, and this is the $1 Type 1 gold coin. So you can see just how significantly smaller that is. I was very surprised when I received that, and I guess I should have put two and two together before that it was going to be this small, but again, it was very interesting to see that. That being said, going to the red book here for a second, it says, for very fine 20, Liberty on the headband, complete and legible, knobs on coronet defined. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the knobs on the coronet with this camera here. But let me bring it up here if I can. And let's see if we can get it to focus. You can just make out those knobs. You can see Liberty there. I'm not going to grade it much higher than a very fine 20 here. The next step up is the hair needs to be pretty well defined, and those knobs need to be pretty well defined, and I just don't think they are. I also think this has been clean. And then finally, and why I got such a good deal on this is there is some significant rim damage here. So it looks like this was extra jewelry of some sort. But for what I paid for it, I'm very happy with what I got. There you go. You can see the rim damage a little bit more. And honestly, that rim is going to be hidden by the book anyway, pretty much, so you're not really going to see the edges that much. So again, you know, that's kind of been my philosophy going into trying to fill out this typeset is damaged, cleaned, coins, etc. Those are easier to kind of hide some of those things in a book, in a typeset, so those are the perfect thing, in my opinion, to try and include. I'm not really looking to break coins out of graded holders, things like that. I'm not going to be that OCD about this set. I'm just looking to get fairly nice examples, things that might have problems when they come to be graded into this particular set. So that being said, the one other thing I did want to share is, again, this is an 1853. If we look here, the mintage of the 1853s here was 4 million. So that was quite a lot relative to the rest of the coins in the series. One of the reasons that there were so many coins that were minted, interestingly enough, was that the price of silver was actually pretty high, and so a lot of the silver was being exported out of the country. So there are silver dollars, obviously, and those silver dollars weren't really available. So that was leading the mint to supplement a dollar coin by producing more of the gold coins that year. The other thing I did want to mention here, this is your standard 90% gold, so it's 90% pure gold, and then it has 10% copper alloy. And on the back here, if you can see it, you can see that there are some copper spots. Those lights really are shining hard on there. And again, so I think it's been cleaned. There's those copper spots, there's the rim damage, like I said, but overall, I'm pretty happy for this, as an addition to the typeset in regards to what I paid for it and what places like AppMex and eBay are asking for. I'm very happy with that. So that being said, let's go ahead and get this added to the book. You'll notice there are 3 other dollars in the typeset. The type 2s were a little bit larger, and when we get to adding those, we'll discuss those in more detail. Again, kind of like that Indian head, a little bit loose in there, but overall, a good fit this time. Still much easier than those pennies from last week. All right, so that all being said, let me go ahead and put some pictures of the album progress so far on the screen, and let's talk about my total cost. And here are the updated pictures of the typeset progress so far. Continuing next week, we will revisit the first page, which is the cents page. And here is the updated total running cost. This week I paid $180 for the Liberty Head Type 1 with $3.50 shipping. I bought this off of Reddit, so that brings my total cost for the coins to $663.20. I've paid $18.51 in shipping for a grand total of $681.71.